because it goes to show you, again, at a certain point, man, maybe when he's an old man, he'll just stop lying. Why do you still go on the internet? For what? Just go away. Like,
I hope he keep D himself.
Go somewhere, because what is the point? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. What does he still talk about? Does anyone go on those guys' show and just ask him and Mob why they were FBI informants? Has anyone just done that?
No, they don't believe they are. They don't believe it. It's like, y'all really believe that Reggie is sitting out here doing all this shit and he's not an informant. But he stays on the internet calling everybody a rat. And he calls Suge a rat. Everybody's a rat. Everybody's a rat. And he's Splinter. He's the king rat.
He worked for the FBI, and that's a fact. There's no argument. Someone should go on whatever shows those guys go on and say, hey, I'd really love to hear how you became an FBI informant. I would love to hear that story. Can you tell me that story? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I would just just tell the story. I even know the first name of the handler who was Reggie's handler at the FBI. I'm not going to say the person's name because he doesn't want to be known publicly.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, but so what? Like, why don't you tell that story? Because you know what? That's an interesting story, right? If you were an informant for the FBI while you were at death row, how interesting a story is that, right? These guys want to tell all of these stories. Why don't you tell that story at this point? You're old men.
Right. I would love to hear that shit. That would be so
I think actually that would be the most fascinating podcast that they've ever done, or whatever YouTube video.
Yeah,
would be the origin story. Huh?
How many people he set up? Got caught with guns?
I mean, listen. Yeah.
Remember, he said he testified.
Amazing to hear how they kept that from Suge, how they kept that from the people in their lives, and why. I would be curious, and hopefully at some point they can tell that story.
That would be amazing.
And an even better story would be finally for Greg Kading to write another book about why he made up murder rap and explain. How great would that be? That would sell more copies than his first book.
Trick the world.
And no one actually in this day and age would care. He'd probably be richer and he'd be more famous. He'd be like the dumb LAPD detective that made up a story, and then guess what? I'm going to tell you the real story. And in this day and age, that would actually fucking sell in the crazy world we live in. It would
definitely sell because these people are goofy enough.
And if they were smart, they should all just get together and tell the truth, and then they'd really have a story. You know, that would be fun.